We talk about real estate. We talk about generally about investing, and of course, why you should not save, where you should put your money. Those are the things we're going to be talking about. And of course, this is day 10 of the Financial Freedom Challenge that we started as part of the um, uh, financial freedom drive that we are doing through this July. Welcome in, everyone. July makeup, how are you doing? July, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in, everyone. And if you're just meeting me for the first time, Dr. Lina, I'm a doctor of business and technology, helping as many people to build wealth the right way. And as a matter of fact, welcome to the July Financial Freedom Challenge. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. How are you doing? Sam K, welcome in. Me Dad, welcome in. And all you, how are you? And we know what to do. Tap out the life. As soon as we get 5,000 taps and 50 shares, we get started. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. More, how are you? User, hello, peace. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Today, we're going to be talking about the how, the when, the where, and why of becoming a millionaire, right? Or becoming financially free. That's what we're going to be talking about. Maths and physics, welcome in. House of Prayers, I love that. The House of Prayers, I love that. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. This is the $1,000,000 League. And today, we are talking about investing. We'll talk about that. We're talking about why you should not save your money, but you should invest your money. I'm going to be showing you exactly that on the compound interest calculator, right? Those are the things I'm going to be showing you. And of course, today's challenge is you protecting your money. So things around Living Trust LLC, things about insurance, emergency fund, will touch that as well as part of today's challenge. But ultimately, we're going to be talking about the why, the how, the when of how long is it going to, so the when, how long is it going to take you to become financially free? If you do certain things, the what, okay? And how do you go about it, right? Just to become financially free. And of course, get into that $1,000,000 status, the exact step that's going to get you there, right? Those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. And if you're just meeting me, Georgia, IK Ben, BK, Suri, Chesky, if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. That's because I have my master's and my doctorate in strategic business and information management system. My day job, I'm a vice president of technology, also a chartered accountant and an economist, and I've been investing for close to 2 decades, helping as many people to gain financial freedom, especially through this July, because we have been teaching as many people how to build wealth the right way. Selvi, how are you? Save for your future. I love that, right? Joseph, welcome in, welcome in. Let's tap out the live. As soon as we get the 5,000 taps, we'll get the class started. Also, let's share out the live. Let's share out the live. Let's tap out the live. Still, hello on the YouTube side. Welcome in. How are you doing? Today, we're talking about ETF. We're talking about real estate as part of the how, the when, the why. We'll also talk about the rule of 72. We're going to be talking about the wealth triangle, okay? So we're going to be talking about ETF, real estate, of course, the why, the where, how, and when, right? How long is it going to take you to build wealth, right? How do you go about building wealth? Where do you put your money to be able to build wealth? And of course, why should you build wealth? I mean, ultimately, financial freedom. So thank you so much. Let's tap out the live. We'll get started as soon as we get to 5,000 taps. And of course, we'll get to 50 shares. That is when we get the class started. The reason why we do that is because we get to half of the class and you see people will just come in and say, Dr. Lina, can you please repeat yourself? And I'm like, or Dr. Lina, can you replay? Can you recap? And I'm like, oh, Dr. Lina is real. Dr. Lina is a real human being. Dr. Lina is not an AI for me to replay or to repeat or to do all of those things because it sets back the class. So that's why we need to start tapping out the live. Entrepreneur, Dolly Ed, welcome in. And if you're new here, click on that follow button. Click on the follow button. Welcome in. Share out the live. Invite your friends over And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, helping professionals turn their income into real wealth. So my day job, I'm a vice president of technology, also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. And you're wondering, what are we even talking about? Oh, I have the board backwards. What are we talking about? Start investing, stop saving, ETF, real estate, businesses, gaining financial freedom. If your goal is to end a paycheck to paycheck, those are things that we're talking about. Income does not equal to wealth, right? And today we're going to tell you, Sarah, welcome in. And those on the YouTube side, click on that subscribe button if you have not done that. Drop where you're connecting from. Sealed, Sarah, let me know where you're connecting. Good one. Mateo, Chrissy, welcome in, welcome in. Let's click on that follow button. If you are just new here, click on the follow button. You did, but awesome. Well done, well done, well done. Well done, well done. And who joined earlier today? Earlier today, I showed you one of my miseries, right? One of part of doing business. Part of doing business. I showed that earlier today. And that was I had the Sherry from Ghana, awesome, all the way from Ghana. How are you doing? Welcome in, Miguel. How are you doing? Yeah, click on that follow button. Welcome in, Last Kitchenware, all the way from Ghana. I is Ghana today. We have a lot of Ghanaians. As a matter of fact, we have 67 countries represented here in 15 days because we are on a financial freedom drive. So that's so things are a little bit different. Yeah, welcome in. Let's tap out the life. As soon as movie silence, living ghosts welcome in. Movie silence, living ghosts. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Can you click on the follow button? What is a shadow? I'm not sure what that means, right? Welcome in, welcome in. Click on the follow button. As soon as we get to 5,000, you're back. Awesome. Matilda, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Where were you? Where were you? Moving silence. Where were you? Where did you go? Yeah, and we know what to do. Let's tap it all the way to 5,000 taps to get the class started. Oh, okay. Hello, Sarah. Welcome in, Sarah. Everyone say hello to Sarah. Welcome in. Welcome in, Sarah. Awesome, awesome. Matilda, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Welcome in, Matilda. And we're going to get the class started shortly as soon as we get to 5,000 taps. 5,000 taps and 50 shares. Reason why we do that is because we want to make sure that everybody is moved along at the same time. And that's the only language the algorithm understands. Tapping out the light, sharing out the light. That's on the TikTok side. On the YouTube side, all you have to do is oh, that's fine. Yeah, all you have to do is to click on the subscribe button on those on the YouTube side. So welcoming everyone. We're talking about ETF today. So that is the how, right? And maybe the how, maybe the where, right? The ETF, we're talking about real estate, businesses. Why do we choose all those three? We're going to be talking about it. And to what end? For you to gain financial freedom. As a matter of fact, Spicy Quick, Cubes, Galactic, Abby, Susie, as a matter of fact, Moving Silence, as a matter of fact, we've been on this journey. Koi, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. As a matter of fact, we started, this is date, what's today? Today is day 27 of the Financial Freedom Challenge. So I've been showing up twice a day since the 1st of July, right? And this is day 27 for 27 days. Yesterday and today was only an exception where I'm only showing up once, okay? Because of course, yesterday I was fatigued, all right, and I had to take a rest and take a break. Otherwise, I got to my I was almost breaking down. Okay, and today I had an eviction in one of my properties where I had the deputy. Okay, the deputy that came to get one of the houses that we got the writ of possession. So we had to go to that property and take out unfortunately, I had to take out the tenant's property. And of course, I had to take out repossess the property, and that is the worst case you can have when it comes to real estate. That is the worst case you can have. And of course, I showed you live. For some people joined earlier. Hey, cuz, how are you doing? Right? Some people joined live and they saw what it takes, whenever you're going through eviction and you see a situation whereby you have to move things out. It was done under an hour, where we're able to move all the tenants items out, property out, and put it by the core. Unfortunately, we had to do that, but you have to all this understand something. When it comes to real estate, it's a business. Thank you all for tapping out the live. If you are new here, click on the follow button. You always need to understand one thing. Whenever you are in business, you need to learn to take away emotions, learn to take away all of those things and treat it as a business. Because if you own a property and you rent it out to someone and the person doesn't pay, and you have a mortgage to pay, guess what is going to happen? What's going to happen is you're going to go through a foreclosure, because the bank is not going to have such an empathy on you as the landlord. So what you need to do whenever you find yourself in such situation is make sure you take action. Don't be timid. Just eat it head on, right? Eat it head on. Like this case, the tenant did not make a payment for June. And I showed it earlier. Who joined us this afternoon? Who joined it? Oh, no, it was in the morning, Central Time, 9 a.m. The sheriff, the deputy, the deputy sheriff was at the property, and I showed it live, right? I streamed live at that time. If you were here, drop it in the comment, right? Yeah, and basically always understand whenever it comes to real estate, there would be a time, either real estate, other businesses, right? Or either even in the stock market, always know that there's always going to be a risk, right? The way you handle that risk is what really matters. Just the same way, even on your job today, there's a risk, right? Because the risk there is that you go back to work tomorrow, you swipe your card and it doesn't work, meaning you're fired. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it happened to 30,000 employees in Oracle about 2 months ago, whereby they woke up one day and their job was gone. The same thing, it happened to what's it called? Spirit Airlines, 17,000 people, right, in one day, and their job was gone. That's why I always say that always have your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, and do not be tied to any job. Do not develop an emotional attachment to any job, because guess what? You develop an emotional attachment. Guess what? You are just a number on that job. Okay? You just, and I'm telling you, coming from somebody who is a vice president, right? Being in the corporate world for almost 2 decades, I tell you, you are just a number, right? If push comes to shove, they want to choose profit over human capital. They choose profit, they choose revenue over human capital. So the earlier you understand that, the better for you to protect your family. That's why number one, ensure, I always say, it starts with your income. And let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. Let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, welcome in. Click on that follow button. If you're new here, we're going to be talking about the why, the how, the when, and why of getting financially free, or getting to this millionaire status, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So make sure you're tapping out the live. Thank you all. Cause hello. Thank you so much for tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Share out the live. Nabs, Georgette, Sedge, welcome in, welcome in. And for those on the YouTube side, welcome in. Let me know where you're connecting from as well. Justin Maxey, Joe Maxey, welcome in. Right? All we have to do, let's tap out the live so that we can get the class started. So, like I was saying, on the YouTube side, click on the subscribe button. On the Uche, welcome in. How are you doing? Let's get it to 5,000 taps. And I'm really telling you, my eviction story, right? Eviction story. That's why I did not show up this afternoon, whereby I had to get one of the tenants' properties out of the property, right? And put it on the co-op with you're from Africa. That's great. Welcome in. Click on that follow button. We had to put it on the co-op, and I streamed it live just so you can see what is the worst case. I tell you my wins. I tell you, oh, how real estate had brought me to this millionaire status. How the stock market has given me hundreds of thousands of dollars. So whenever I also have my losses, I will tell you, okay, right? I will tell you. I'm real like that. So So you just don't think that, oh, it's all bed of roses. Oh, it's all, you get to millionaire status. There's no hiccups. There's no anything. No, 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 no. It comes with its ups and downs. Let's tap out the live. Thank you so much for the repost, Uche. Can we all tap out the live? So I streamed that earlier today. Right? Why I'm not happy that that happened to that individual. But guess what? There's also the mortgage to be paid. Okay, even if you have paid off the property, think about it as a business, right? You have to also pay off the mortgage. Okay, so those are the things, and that's part of the things why I always say you as the individual, as an employee or as an individual, make sure you don't find yourself in that situation. Have your emergency fund in place. Whenever you get a job, the next thing on your line is have an emergency fund. Open an IE savings account and put it in an emergency fund. Can we tap out the live? If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's tap out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's all tap out the live so that we can get the class started. Moving Silence, Joe Maxine, AJ Last, more Fun Awi, Soupy, NGO God, King James. Yeah, let's tap out the live. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. Let's share the live as well. Let's share the live so we can get the real class started. So that we can get the class for today. Fidel, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Yeah. And hello, Grieving. How are you doing? Welcome in. Click on that subscribe button if you've not done so. Thank you all for tapping out the live on the YouTube side. Welcome in. Also indicate where you're connecting from. So ensure you have your emergency fund in place. But let me just tell you, for the people that are early here, like I said, when it comes to real estate pays you in 6 different ways, gives you 6 paychecks, right? 6. Those are the advantage of real estate. You can make so much when it comes to tax advantages, leverage, cash flow, equity. So it beats stock markets hands down. That's the reality. Whenever we're talking about ETF or real estate, which one is the best? I play in both worlds, and I will tell you that I still invest in real ETFs in the stock market. I'm heavily invested there, both for my future retirement and also in the real estate, right? As a beginner, you start with ETF, right? However, when it comes to real estate and ETF, I tell you, real estate beats the stock market hands down. The reason why is because you have huge appreciation. Somebody else is paying for your mortgage. Somebody else enjoy so many tax benefits, right? Which you cannot get when it comes to the stock market. So whenever somebody is arguing with that, it's dead on arrival. I've played the two. I play in both worlds, and I can definitely tell you. However, for you to succeed in real estate, it is not let me say, the risk is higher in real estate, okay? Risk is higher when it comes to real estate. However, in the stock market, there's also risk, but things like what I did today, trying to evict a tenant, dealing with the sheriff, going to court, you probably will not go through that whenever you're in the stock market, which is the trade-off in terms of the return on your investment. Remember, the higher the risk, the higher the return. The higher the risk, the higher the return. So once you understand that, Walmart Williams, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, click on that subscribe button. Hey, Zaddy, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the roses. Let's tap out the live. And I'm just talking about, for those that missed it earlier today, I stream live in the property that I talked to you. Yeah. I spring line in the property that I was talking about yesterday, and that's why I did not show up earlier today, because we had to get the deputy and the constable, the deputy sheriff, to come into the property, and of course to supervise the repossession. Execute the writ of possession of a property, right? And I streamed live right there so that it's not so terrible, right? If that's your fear, how do I put it? The return is way outweighs the risk. Okay, when it comes to real estate, the return outweighs the risk. Okay, I'm not saying you should go and do real estate. I am just telling you based on my experience. This is the worst that can happen when it comes to real estate. Somebody doesn't pay the rent. Okay, if he doesn't pay the rent, what happens? Right? That's the worst case. The other worst case is that they do not take care of the house. What do you do in that case? Ensure that you do quarterly and quarterly every 6 months semi-annual inspection, so that you are seeing how your house is being treated. If it doesn't work out, file the eviction. It's that easy. And if you're in like a state like Texas, like me, under how many days? Let's keep tapping out the life. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. Let's share out the life as well, right? If you're somebody like me, like if you're in like Texas, if you're in a place like Minneapolis, you're in Indianapolis, you're in some of those states, your chances under worst case, I mean, to be honest, worst case, 60 days. 60 days, you wrap it up. 60 days. In my own case now, it's not yet up to 60 days, right? And guess what? You always have security deposit. So 1 month is out of there. Count your losses. Maybe maximum you lose 1 month rent, 1.5 months rent. That's about it. Good, right? 1 month rent because it's the process you are going through. The other half of the rent is you taking over, fixing the house. Like in this house today, for those that saw the house, it was not damaged. There was no damage. The only thing we are doing in this property is just to basically take out the property. So let me quickly tell you, because for those that are early here, if you are new here, click on the follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button, and we get the class started as soon as we get the 5,000 taps. This class is really it's about financial freedom, right? Getting to the $1 million status. That's what it is, and we're talking about where do you put your money to be able to get to this status. Number two is how do you go about it, right? And how long is it going to take you to get to that status, depending on where you put your money, right? Like the rule of 72, all of those kind of things, compound interest, right? If you put your money in real estate, how long is it going to take you? If you put your money in the stock market, how long is it going to take you? If you put it in savings account, right? Something like that. And of course, why should you gain financial freedom? Why? Right? We're going to be talking about that as well. So that's the class for today. Right? So we're talking about things like that. We're going to be going in depth. And of course, we're going to also be talking about protection, because that's the challenge for today. How are you protecting your money? Right? You have made $1 million. You have made $500,000, $100,000. What protection do you have around it? Right? Because right now I could have also gone into the house, taken out of the all the things and put it on the curb and do all of those things. But guess what? What about litigation? How are you going to handle that? Right? So you need to do it the right way. That's why today I have a sheriff, to even tell you something. Let me tell you something. We found a gun in the house. We found a gun. So I can imagine if I never went through the legal process, how do I know that the sheriff, right? I mean, now it's in the custody of yeah, exactly, right? It's in the custody of, I mean, it doesn't mean that there was a crime, right? People have, if you're in Texas, we have access to guns. It's not like a big deal, okay? It's not like a big deal. So let me quickly tell you the steps that I've gone through to be able to evict a tenant. Steps, which is the worst case. Number one, right? I tell the tenant 3 days. I tell the tenant, give them this is the let's replay this whole story. All right, let's assume that this was June, right, when the whole process started. In June, we sent emails, automated emails on the 1st of June to say that your rent is due. Make sure you make the payment by the 3rd of June, right? You are basically able to, you need to remind them, okay? Make your rent. I mean, you're not obligated in any way to remind them. You've already put it in the lease agreement, right? Then on the 4th, right? This is where people make mistake. If you wait longer than the 4th, and let's keep tapping out the life. Let's share out the life as well. Let's share the life, right? This is the exact step to eviction process. And get your daily admin, guys. Remember to get your daily admin. Let's remember to get our daily admin. If you're new here, click on the follow button, and we will start the class as soon as we get 5,000 taps. And we're just talking about, I had an eviction this morning, where non-eviction execute writ of possession of one of our properties this morning, and I streamed live earlier today, and that's why I'm only streaming tonight, right? That's the whole story. That's how we came here, right? So the first thing is I sending them a reminder. They are default by after the 3rd, right? The 3rd of the month. So they're not a default on the 1st, on the 2nd, and the 3rd. They're not a default of rent. Then on the 4th, right? If you don't pay, there is a notice to pay or vacate that you post it at their door, right? You can actually have your own template. It's not a big deal. You can find it online. You put it at the door, or you send it via email. You send it via mail. I always try to cover my bases, right? You cannot file any eviction, right, until the 7th, until after the 7th. So you need to give them 4 days. Is it 3 days? 3 to 4 days, okay? So I typically would do it on the 8th, right? So if I give you, and I'll send you a reminder, I'm going to be filing the court, I will be filing eviction with the court on the 8th. Now, a lot of people make this mistake. On the 3rd, on the 4th, instead of them to post the notice to pay or vacate, they keep waiting because the court will keep counting. You can't, until you have put a notice to pay or vacate, you cannot do the next step, right? So for every single day that you wait, you are losing money, okay? Every single day that you wait, you're losing money. I mean, not losing money, you are delaying the eviction process, okay? You are delaying eviction process. So, and welcoming everyone, welcoming everyone. If you're new, click on that follow button. If you're new, we're just talking about the eviction, I mean, the writ of possession on a property, or not one of our properties today, earlier today, which was conducted by the deputy sheriff, right? That's what we're talking about. And I'm just telling you the exact step that I went through while we tap out to 5,000. Let's share out the live. If you're new, click on that follow button. If you're new, this is just going to educate you. Maybe you want to become a you want to be a real estate investor in the future, or you are currently a real estate investor and you are VOO dropped today. So what do you need to do, Zaddy? VOO dropped today. What do you need to do? What are you doing? Okay? Put it in the comment. What are you doing? Buy more. Good girl. Right? But you need to know the reason. You need to know the reason, not just buy more. You need to know the reason why it's going down, okay? If it's just an event based, right? But we already know that it's probably, I mean, thank you. Even I never had the time to buy. I am still going to, I was looking at it earlier and I was going to buy. You did a bit of research. Okay, tell us what you found about the research, right? So you buy more, JY, yes, absolutely correct, right? Buy the dip, that's exactly what it is. Buy the dip. So click on the follow button. If you're new here, click on that follow button and we got the 5,000 tabs. Now let's focus on the shares. Press on my forehead on the screen. Let's, as I'm giving you this gist so that we can get the class started, let's get focused on the shares. And if you're new here, click on the follow button. If you're new, drop one in the comment. So whatever I'm saying right now will benefit those people that you are too afraid to invest in real estate. It will benefit those people that are already real estate investors, right? And you do not know what to do in a situation, or you are just thinking that, oh, one day your tenant is not going to pay and you don't know what to do, okay? That's not going to benefit that you as well. And for those that are you know that you're going to be investing in future in real estate, this is going to be benefiting, this is going to benefit you, you know, because this is like the worst side of real estate. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's share out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Due to the energy inflation, okay, that's beautiful. And also there's also the technology cheap issue as well. The technology cheap issue. There's still, you know, not an issue, right? The scare. Technology cheap scare. Those are the two things that is driving. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. So one thing that by day 3, put in, hi to this morning, welcome in. If you're new here, click on that follow button. If you're sitting there 2 minutes, click on the follow button. Let's remember to get our daily admin. Let's get our daily admin. Let's share out the live. Let's tap out the live. And I was just talking my experience, you know, with the eviction, like, or the writ of possession of one of our properties, you know, getting a tenant out today, right, with the sheriff. So once you, by day 3, get your by day 4, get your daily I said 1,000 packs welcoming. By day 4, get your notice to pay or vacate. Don't wait, right? Don't panic about it. Just put it out there. Even though the tenant decides to pay, right? Just know that you have covered your bases, right? Most of the time, the tenant will tell you, oh, you know what, I'll pay tomorrow. I'm waiting for the next paycheck. Tell them you understand they would pay. However, this is the process. I still need to put the notice of pay to pay or vacate, right? Don't stay on their words, right? Because some people are genuinely going through stuff, and I mean, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you also need to pay mortgage. So you need to treat it as a business, okay? So those are the things, right? That is by day 4, put the notice to pay or vacate. By day 8, then you can go and file the eviction in the court, right? Of course, check your local laws as well, your local real estate laws and tenancy landlord laws, right? But if you're in the state of Texas and most states, this is what they follow. By day 7, you put in the notice to pay or vacate. By day, then it takes about 21 days, between 10 to 21 days for them to, for your court case, okay? For your court case. So it means that from that day 8, if it's 21 days, by 29th, right, you guys are already in court, which is, I mean, it's not like a big deal. By day 29, most of the time that I've had eviction, what would happen is that they would typically not show up. They would have packed out before that date. At that point, they would have, it would have ended there. But in this case, Alana, welcome in. Lacoste, welcome in. And let's keep tapping out the live. We're talking about the eviction process because I had an eviction. I had a writ of possession today. And the writ of possession is like the final step, right? To get the tenant out of the property, out of the, no, not tenant, reclaim your property, right? End the leak and reclaim your property. That's like the last step, right? But then there might still be steps. If you want to put it in the, housing record, in the tenants, whatever, you can file all of that, but you can claim your property at this point, which is what we did today. So by day 29, of course, we were already in court. But on that day, for some reason, the judge decided to move the date. So we moved it to like a week later. And so we were in court. And of course, she did not show up, right? She did not show up. And then when we got, then of course, it's automatic judgment at that day. Royal Rage, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. If you're new here, click on that follow button. So you might want to take your pen and paper and take note of these steps, right? And validate it with your state if you're in the United States. And most of the countries too, right? Especially the developed countries, they follow a similar rule. But you just need to compare it, whatever I'm saying. But this is the state of Texas, right? So after notice to pay or vacate, then you file the eviction. And of course, you are in court. If they don't show up, it's automatic judgment, which is in favor of the plaintiff, which is the landlord or property manager or the owner of the house, right? So after 90% of the time, they don't show up, okay? Hey, Pike 212, welcome in. How long of missed payments before you can evict? It's the same thing. I mean, hey, thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Let's remember to get your daily admin. Yeah, so missed payment, 1 month. So this case, the person did not pay in June by the 3rd. So the rent of June is due on the 1st of June, right? Tolu's mom. Rent of June is due on the 1st of June. By the 3rd of June is when we put the notice to pay or vacate. By the 7th is when we already filed an eviction. So 7 days. So the person can only be there 7 days. By day 8, right? In Texas, by day 8, you file the eviction. And it's the standard with the court that you have under 21 days, right? They have to schedule that case. So that case has to be within 21 days. So at 21, it can be shorter than 21 days, right? I'm just saying maximum 21 days. 21 days plus 8 days, that's 29th. So by day 29th, remember, is the rent for June, right? All this one is June. So by the 29th, you should be in court, right? And the only condition that the 29th is not going to happen is maybe the judge is out or something happens, or maybe the tenant says, oh, you know what, I'm not available. So they have the opportunity to shift it by 1 week, okay? Which was what happened in this case. So they moved the case to the 9th of July, right? So that puts us 1 month and 9 days, okay? So this is the rent of June. Now this is the month of July, right? Remember, at the time when you're signing the lease, you get a 1 month security deposit. 1 month security deposit is what you get. So I can all literally say that 1 month security deposit covered the month of June's rent. Tolusmo, do you understand what I'm saying? Let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. We will start the class very soon. I'm just telling you, the worst case, because I always tell you my wins, right? I always tell you my wins when it comes to, real estate made me a millionaire. Real estate stock market gave me hundreds of thousands of dollars. But then, so that you will know that it's not like it doesn't come at a risk. Salifu, thank you so much. Welcome in. Let's tap out the live. Let's remember to get our daily admin. If you're new here, click the follow button. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Welcome in, everyone. And I streamed from the house earlier today, with the sheriff or the deputy sheriff. Right, I streamed from when we were going through that process. So after that, we were in court on the night. She didn't show up, and we got the judgment. And of course, you would wait for them to either appeal. That takes about 5 days, right? For them to either appeal, or if they do not appeal, meaning that the judgment is good, right? They have the opportunity to appeal. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, they have the opportunity to appeal. But if they do not appeal within that period, right, then the motion continues. So the judgment stays, right? It stays. However, by day one of late payment. No, you cannot. You cannot. Otherwise, you get into trouble. You cannot. You cannot. It's the law, right? It's the law. Right? I'm just telling you the full force so that you don't get in the hands of the Lord. Oh Lord. No, you cannot. Right? So understand that. But I would say, yeah. So once you have that, so take your pen and paper and take notes. I'm just telling you, right? So then we went to court. We came back. She did not appeal. Okay? She didn't appeal. And of course, then after 5 days, I go back to the court. And when I went to the court, I paid, so for the filing the eviction, it was $150. So you can know in terms of cost. Filing the eviction, it was notice to pay, it cost you $0, right? Filing the eviction in the state of Texas is about $150, depending on another county, it's like $200, or if there are two people, I don't know, it's $200, or not more than about $200, but $150 in this case. And then, because she didn't appeal, after 5 days, I went to court and I said, okay, she did not appeal, right? You will find the judgment on the court's website. And really, in the court, it's not like a big deal, okay? So don't get intimidated. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need anything, right? Just go there, right? The best they would ask you, they will ask you, what is the back rent, okay? They would say, okay, what is the back rent? How much is you cannot add all the fees. You can't put any fees on it. They'll just ask you what's the back rent, and you will give them the back rent, okay? I know, right? That's why I asked how long before you. Right. Yeah. So you have that. And then, what was that? So after you get the writ, so that day, after 5 days, because they did not appeal, I got the writ then I paid another $160 to get a writ of possession. For some reason, I would typically, this is the first time I'm going to go through, right? Most of the time is either it's abandonment, so they leave the house, they did not take some of their things, and I just went through the abandonment process. But for some reason, this time, I wanted to see the entire process, just to even come and tell you guys, like, this is the entire process. So I went through so I paid a $160 to get a sheriff, or to the police, right? So that they would come and they will be the one to direct and control I might not have the kind of patience, but I'm learning the process. You just have to be patient. If you can be patient in getting the money, then you'd have to be patient in the process of, whenever hiccups happen. So otherwise you get into trouble. Otherwise you get into, so that's why I'm saying all of this, right? Trust me, it's coming from somebody that have been investing in real estate for over a decade, right? And own double-digit real estate portfolio, right? You just have to trust the process and follow the process. Please, are we still having class today? Yes, we are. We are. And this is part of it, right? Real estate. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I'm talking about because I had a writ of possession. I had to repossess one of my properties from from a tenant today. Okay, that's what so real estate is part of. Remember, real estate is here. So you can always hear the good side. Now you hear the bad side, okay? The bad side. So you understand what is the worst case that can happen. When it's stock market, what's the worst case that can happen when it comes to real estate, okay? Fidel, so you would understand. So let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. New here, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. We're going to start. We're going to be talking about financial freedom with no money, real estate, ETF, and of course, where, how, when, and why of becoming financially free. All right. So once we have the what's it called? Once I got the writ of possession, that was about how many days ago? You call the police, and you will tell them that you know what I need. They will give you a date when they would repossess the property. Okay, they will give you a date. So today was our day, and they came in. He already arrived at 9. It was 9 o'clock when we got there. The deputy was already there. The deputy sheriff, it was already there, and all they had to do is go inside the property, to make sure that there was nobody. Right? When we went in there, all we had to do was get as many able-bodied men, like a what's it called, moving company, right? 3, 4 people to start moving the things outside to the co-op, right? And that was it. Movers, yeah. That's it. They moved it out, and I said we did find a GUN there. We found a GUN, right? That was the interesting part of it. We did find that, although and of course, yes, we changed the locks. Of course, for sure, we changed the locks. We moved the things out. Now the next thing is to get the cleaners in, clean out the house, put it, and then the next thing is that we put it back in the market. Bad radiance, okay? Process ends. The ECOPS is over. We are back in business. That particular property was purchased about 2-3 years ago, and we bought it for 240,000, 249,000. It's today. It's at that time it's worth 320,000. So you can imagine what it's even worth today. So would I say because somebody did not pay rent of 2,300 and 2,350 for 1 month, would that give me headache for the seven? I mean, even when I bought the property, it was already 70,000 in terms of what's it called? In terms of 70,000 in terms of equity when we bought the property. So I would now be worried because of 2,350, 2,350, right? Or 1 month, or even 2 months, or 10,000. That would not. A lot of time we focus on the tiny things versus the yes, instant equity. Yeah, a lot of time we focus on the small things, and because of the small things, you would lose the big things. And please, guys, and this is also as part of the World Coach Spa. This is the reason why I tell everybody to please, right? I mean, that person's things are there, right? I mean, even when I asked the constable, which is the overall district, whatever, when I asked him that what's going to happen to this property, and she was like, you know what that person said? What he said? He said somebody's loss, or somebody's loss is another person's treasure. Meaning anybody can come and take it because nobody's watching it. This is what thousands of dollars of somebody's property. Why I feel for that person, right? There's the empathy, but there's also the business side because there has to be mortgage to be paid. So you guys need to also understand if you want to do business, you need to treat it as a business. You have to be, how to put it? You need to know this is a business because guess what? If you don't pay your mortgage, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Foreclosure happens. Right? So that's the same thing. Remove emotions when it comes to doing business. When it comes to you're in the stock market, back to the stock market now. You are in the stock market. The market goes down. You panic to sell. Why? It's a good stock. It's a good ETF. Why are you panicking to sell? Right? So we have to know that we need to treat it as there's always going to be risk, right? There's always going to be risk. And that's why the higher the risk, the higher the return. The higher the risk, always understand there is also the return that comes with it. Gladys, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. So understand one thing. If you're new here, click on that follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button if you're learning 1 or 2 things. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things from this experience because I can't come and tell you the good side and then the bad side happens or the hiccups happens, I don't tell you. And you'll be like, maybe you find yourself in this situation. Right? I'm also going to do some series on it just to educate as many people. Okay, what's the big deal? Right? They damage your property. Okay. And so, Okay, worst key thing they can do is that maybe they break the sheetrock, right? That's the cheapest thing that can happen. They trash the house, get a trash moving company. Hi, Sarah, welcome in, right? They trash the house, get a trash company, move it out, right? They break the walls. What else, right? And they can, if they put fire, that's arson, that is jail. That's a jail level offense. So those are the things that you fear, right? So whenever you, that's the way I actually invest. What is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that you probably burn out the house. I mean, that's the worst thing. That is hurting. That is, I mean, they rot. What's the other thing? Insurance pays for it. That's it. If they, there's always, exactly. But whenever you always look at the, oh, you know what? Oh, my house. I don't want to be. Yesterday, I was in another property, and the tenant was like, oh, there's the mold in the house. There's the leakage, and I went to the house. Okay, I looked at it. What's going on in this house? And looked at it. I saw that, oh, you know what, this? I said, okay, let's make sure there is no more active leakage. Watch it for another 2 days or whatever. Literally spent 30 minutes and we were done. That's it. Looked at it, oh, it's not a mold anywhere. That's it. So we always need to, whenever you, otherwise, that's why a lot of us are so comfortable with your day job. But if you're comfortable with the day job, also know that there's also the room for to be fired. Always know that there's a room because there's a risk, right? And if you do not look past all of those, that's why all of the multimillionaires and the wealthy people, there's always a form of, they don't look for the comfort. The comfort is going to keep you. It's like you put a cap when you become, oh, you know what, I am on this job. That's why some people do not change jobs. They stay in one job for 10 years, 15 years, and all of that because they are comfortable. Versus when you move out, right? Which is how I got to a vice president position. When you move out, and quick move, you would get better returns, right? But because you don't want to, you are very comfortable, it keeps you, right? It keeps you. Yiga, latest millionaire in town. If you are new here, click on that follow button. All right. I hope this teaching helped one or two people because I just showed you the exact step. So now that the house is out, the next thing, by this weekend, the house will be cleaned. By next week, it's going to be listed. Goal is that it's going to be listed by next week on the market. Okay. So for it to be rented, hopefully it's rented in another 2 weeks, moving. That's it. Done with that house. Now, the other thing is that on the 15th, we're going to do another thing, which is called abstract. We get the abstract of court, right? That's just going there and just putting it in their record. So don't think that, oh, this is where it ends. That somebody owes you. Glabities, welcome in, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in, latest millionaire in town. But if you're new here, click on that follow button. Get your daily at me. You're new here. We're going to be starting right now. I think I'll just start with real estate since we're already talking about real estate. So we're going to get the abstract of court, right? And when we get the abstract of court, you will put it on their record. So it will be in their record for another 7 years, right? It's going to be on the record for another 7 years. So if another landlord, right, would be able to see it. If the landlord brings out the record, right? You are right. And the fear always keeps someone on one job taught. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So what's going to happen at the end of the day? So they put it on their record. You might, whenever, if they try to, you can even go to the lengths that they can get it from their paycheck. So when they start earning, that's another way. You can file small claim. You can file whatever they are owing, that rent. You can file it in the small claim court if you want, right? Otherwise, you can just leave it in their record. So they would have, whenever they pull their record, you see the way when they do background check and they'll say, oh, this person has a criminal background. They would see housing record. Housing record already makes you like you are dead on arrival. No landlord wants to take you. And if any landlord wants to take you, you are going to pay, instead of 1 month, you are high risk. Instead of 1 month rent, you're going to pay 2 months rent or 3 months rent as a security deposit to protect other landlords for falling prey of you, right? So it's going to be there for another 7 years. So don't always think that, oh, you know what? No. Just make sure that your numbers are documented. Everything is documented. Like in this case, like I said, we found a GUN. We found a GUN in the house. If I was trying to do the back door, I'm like, okay, you know what? She didn't show up. I don't want to pay $160, right? I don't want to pay $160. I'd rather do, like Zaddy was saying, I will balance them out day one. What happens when you see a GUN in there? What are you going to do? But in this case, it's no longer my headache. It's the sheriff that was or the deputy that was there, picked it up, and whatever they want to do with it, it is, right? If the person, and they already put it there, no trespass. Okay, you cannot, God can come into this house again. No trespass. So you protect yourself, especially when you are building wealth. Especially today, it's all about protection. Remember, protection, because you don't want something that you have worked hard for somebody to just come and claim it, right? Right? You don't want that. So do your own, yeah. So having said that, ensure that you have your emergency fund so that you don't find yourself on the other side, right? This is the other side of this side. The other side is that you are the tenant and really life happens. You lost your job or whatever, right? You want to make sure that you have an emergency fund that's going to take care of you for another 3 to 6 months. Or 1 to 3 months at least, right? 1 to 3 months. And then you can easily, like, okay, you know what? If you have to drive Uber, if you have to look for something else within that 3 months, you can still be able to take care of your family, right? So that's the other side of it. All right? Clear? So, having said that, if you're new here, click on that follow button. I'm new here, drop 1. I am new. Drop 1. If you're new, drop 1. Drop 1 if you're new. Let's get the class started. If you're new here, drop 1 in the comment. I'm new. So, let's quickly talk about real estate. So I've said it, I've talked about the bad side of real estate today, right? The bad side of real estate. I've talked about that. And that's the worst thing that can happen. Gladys, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for the repost. Right. So why are we talking about real estate in the first place? It all makes sense. Thank you so much for the, oh, you're most welcome. You're welcome. That's why, there's no gatekeeping here. We show it, we tell you as it is, right? You're most welcome. I'm glad it happened at this point, right? So why are we even talking about real estate, right? Pretty blind girl, welcome in. MDK, welcome in. And for those that are new and you're just meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. So my day job, I'm a vice president of technology and also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. And of course, I'm a chartered accountant, I'm an economist as well, and a serial investor with double-digit real estate portfolio, obviously, with what I've been talking about. And I've also been investing in the stock market as well. So I've been doing both. Latest millionaire intern, welcome in. So, and we're doing a financial freedom challenge, 31 days. So I've been showing up at least twice a day from the 1st of July, with the exception of today and yesterday, because I needed to rest. And today we needed to go through whatever story that I told you. No, I didn't show up earlier. I showed up earlier because I streamed from the house. I did. If you joined the live earlier, let me know. I was in the house when the sheriff was there and all of that. I did stream from the house. So I did. Yeah, I did. I streamed for a little bit. It wasn't long. It was about an hour or maybe 45 minutes, when I streamed at the property, just so I can let you see what's going on, right? So, and which country? I'm in Texas, in the United States, okay? I'm in Texas. Let me know where you're connecting from. If you're new here, drop 1 in the comment. Drop 1 in the comment. So like I said, I'm a vice president of technology and also a professor. That's because I'm a chartered accountant, I'm an economist, and I have my doctorate degree in strategy, business, and information management system. Oh, all the way from me. Awesome. Good. We have 67 countries represented here already. UK was country number 3. Canada was country number 2. United States was country number 1. And 60, country number 67 was Oman, right? Oman was country number 67. Welcoming everyone. Click on the follow button if you're new here, if you've not clicked on that follow button. Yeah, like I was saying, we're doing a financial freedom drive for 31 days. So it means that I've been showing up for today is the 27th, right? I've been showing up for 27 days, most of the time, 98% of the time, showing up 2 times a day. 1:30 and 8 p.m. teaching you how to gain financial freedom. Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. What is the goal? The goal is financial freedom. Money is just a tool towards financial freedom. Financial freedom is the goal. What else is the goal? Becoming the status. So we have a lot of millionaires in this community and those aspiring to become a millionaire. So if that's your goal, and yours might be, I just want to end the paycheck to paycheck cycle. I want to have clarity around my money. Make sure you click on that follow button and check out because we've been doing in the past 10 days, this is day 10, we're wrapping up with the financial freedom challenge. Every single day there's an action, a step to take you closer to financial freedom, right? Yeah, so you are drafting your own plan. We're giving you the action and you're drafting your own plan in your own journal. Then you can execute and then you find yourself here, right? So if you're new, click on that follow button. It sounds like what you're looking for because we talk about investing. We are moderate risk investors. We do not do long-term investing, not to long and medium term investing. This is not about this is about generational wealth building and of course building structure around your money. So if you want to know better how we invest, Google who Warren Buffett is. Warren Buffett, and you would understand how we invest, okay? Because this is more about delayed gratification rather than instant gratification. So ultimate goal is for us to reduce crime. How? Because when you have this financial education or you are financially educated, you're going to be financially free. And then you would also, that's going to reduce poverty. And of course, poverty is going to also reduce crime. Crime and poverty, they are brothers and sisters and husband and wife, call them whatever, right? Yeah, there's the crime neighborhood has high rates of poverty, or poverty neighborhood has high rates of crime. So you understand. So that's what we're trying to do, help as many people end the paycheck to paycheck cycle. And this is exactly what we're doing. Stop saving and start investing. Okay. So what we talked about, right? I just talked about real estate, right? Why do we talk about real estate? Right? Why real estate, right? You want to know why. Why real estate? And I just want to have my all right. Okay. So the first thing that I want us to talk about, let's talk about the what. Since we are already on real estate, the what. Okay? We talked about the why and let's talk about the what. So the what, meaning what of what? Why, where should you put your money, right? Right? What should you put your money in, right? To be able to gain to financial freedom. One of the things I always say that your income does not equal wealth. Understand that. And when we're talking about the income does not equal wealth, it just also means that wealth does not equal just money. It is another option to freedom, right? Yeah. It is another, what is another? So whenever we talk about wealth, we talk about time, health, money, and of course social, and we talk about peace. The challenge for today, if you want to understand peace, wealth, the challenge for today is all about peace. So whenever we're talking about wealth, there are 5 types of wealth, not just money. A lot of time we focus on money. So what should you put your money in to be able to be financially free or to get to the $1 million status? And the reason why I'm talking about this is one is real estate. I just told you, so obviously you know that I'm very big on real estate. Number 2 is in the stock market. And number 3 is businesses. The worst place to put your money, right? The worst place, in terms of what to put your money in, the worst place that you can put your money is what? In the bank account. All right? This is the investment account. This is the bank account. If you put your money in the bank account, you're not going to build wealth. What do I mean? Right? And I would show you why do I look at this three and why do I look at the bank account. Let me quickly show you something. And I will teach you. Then we'll go straight because for those, if you are new here, drop one. I want to know the extent of the teaching today. If you're new here, drop one. I'm new, drop one. I am new. If you're new here, drop one. Drop one. Okay, Blogman's latest millionaire intern. Welcome in. Also, NB pages, you are no longer new. I saw you here yesterday. NBA pages, welcome in, right? If you're new, drop one in. This is your first day. But welcome in NBA pages. If you're new today, meaning your first day today, you've never seen Dr. Lina before, you've never been to the $1 Million community, click, put drop one. I want to know the extent at which we are going. Drop one. Only one person is new. Does it mean that every other person here had been here? And let's keep tapping out the line. Let's get it to 20,000 taps. Yeah, only Blogmate is new. Every other person has been Fidel, MDK. Okay, if today is your first day, right? The first time you're meeting Dr. Lina. All right. All right, so can we all share the live so that we can have more new people here to educate? Can we share the live? Let's and for those that are new, make sure you click on that follow button if you have not done so. Let us share out the live. For those that are new and for everybody, we already know what to do. We tap out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. That's number one. Number two, share out the live. Press my forehead on the screen. Share out the live. Repost the live as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you all for doing that. Let's do that. Thank you so much for doing that. Zadi, Tolismo, Fidel, Movie Silence, AJ, Omolara, Uche, Alfred, NBA, SK. Yeah, let's all do that. Yeah, and if you're sitting here 2 minutes, click on the follow button. Let's share out the live so that we can have, if it's just one person that is new. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that we get to half of the class and then everybody will say, oh, can you repeat yourself? Can we change? Can we do this? Right? That's what is going to happen. All right. So let's all share the live. If you have not gotten your daily at me, let's get our daily at me. Let's quickly do that. Let's get our daily at me. All right. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Thank you so much for getting your daily at me, Zadi and everyone. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Welcome in, everyone. Share out the live. Let's all share out the live. Let's do that. Share out the live. So if you're new here, click on the follow button. Wait 2 minutes. It looks like what you're looking for. Click on the follow button. Number two is that you tap out the live. Number three is that you share out the live. Number four is for you to get your daily at me. Of course, it's also going to get your pen and paper as well. Palo, latest millionaire in town. Get your pen and paper. And lastly, it's going to be a two-way conversation, okay? So please respond. I'm going to ask questions at a time. It's just a way to reinforce learning. Welcome to the $1 Million League. All right. Thank you all for sharing out the live. Thank you so much for getting your daily at me if you've not done so. And let's tap it out to 20,000 taps. All right. So why should you put your money in this place? Why? Or what? Whenever we say put your money in the bank, okay? So always remember something, and I've seen this, I've shown this multiple times. Where does the multimillionaire put their money? If you understand where they put their money, it means that you are going to get there. Even if you don't get to a multimillionaire status, you will get, and that's in dollars, by the way. If you don't get to multimillionaire status, you will get to a millionaire status, right? If you aim for the stars, right? Or if you aim for the moon, if you don't get to the moon, you at least get to the stars, right? You would have heard that before. That's it. Exactly. So that's why we have it right there. Just check, where does the multimillionaire put their money, right? And once you understand where they put their money, you would realize that if you put your money in the same place, you're going to start building wealth, okay? So multimillionaires rarely keep large sums in standard retail account. Standard retail account, meaning your bank account. So your traditional account. Peter Serrano, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. So bank account, the latest bank account, they don't put their money in a bank account. Let's continue, right? Let's continue. Um, Instead, the multimillionaire really keep large sum. So the only money they put here is what? When they mean large sum, right? It means that the small sum that they leave there for liquidity is their emergency fund. What is the emergency for 3 to 6 month living expenses? That's the only thing that they put in this account, in the checking account, in an IO savings account, in the bank account, generally. Instead, they typically distribute their wealth across 4 pillars. 4 pillars. You can also Google it yourself or check ChatGPT. Where does the multimillionaire, where do they put their money? Number one, private banking and cash equivalent. Liquid cash is kept in private wealth investment account, treasury bill, and money market funds to manage inflation and expand FDIC coverage. So they have, remember they said they have little cash, right? Little cash for liquidity. So whenever we are talking about liquidity, we are talking for emergency fund. You never put monies for your emergency for 3 months to 6 months, living expenses, basic living expenses, your utilities, your transportation, housing, and of course your groceries. Those 4 things, 3 to 6 months of it, you never put it in an investment account. Otherwise, VOO goes down today. S-Class, welcome in. Latest millionaire in town. If you are new here, click on that follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button. Let's welcome you to the League of Millionaires. This is the community of millionaires, people aspiring to become millionaires in dollars and those that are already millionaires. So welcoming everyone. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 20,000 taps. And of course, let's share out the live. Welcoming everyone. And we're talking about where does the multimillionaire put their money. If you put your money right there, you are going to achieve the same results. Win X ESP, latest millionaire in town. Welcoming. And of course, this is not get rich quick scheme, by the way, guys. It's not. So look up who Warren Buffett is, and you would understand that's going to be the summary of what we do here, right? Warren Buffett, we're long-term investors, we are moderate risk investors, and of course we look at compound interest to help us in our journey. Okay, so your emergency for 3 to 6 months are groceries, utilities, transportation, and of course utilities, housing, transportation, of course, your groceries. Those 4 things are the 3 to 6 months of that. Isaac, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. Those are the only things that goes into that account, period. Right? In your savings account. Pepina, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. And you might be wondering why we're stopping and welcoming all our millionaires in the house. Yes, it might not look like they have the millions in their account, but it's going to happen because we have there's a man upstairs, right? I'm a Jesus baby, right? And there's a man upstairs, and we have already we just told the big man upstairs that this is the latest identity, right? Taking a leap of faith and saying, oh, you know what? I might not have it right now, but I'm going to get there. And that's why that person clicked the follow button. However, we do that, but there's also the power, there's power of life and death in the tongue. That's what we just did. However, God also blesses the works of your hands. It means that there has to be something in your hands to be blessed, okay? It has to be something in your hands to be blessed. What does this mean? It simply means that get your pen and paper, listen to what we are teaching you, and execute, okay? Otherwise, we just prophesy and nothing happens. So get your pen and paper, execute, all right? All right, guys? So if you're new here, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you to the $1 Million League. Somebody literally just crossed $500,000 2 weeks ago, following the strategies that we talk about here. All right. So multi-millionaire, where do they put their money? That's what we're talking about, right? So that you will understand where or what should you put your money in? Where or what should you put your money in, right? And I've already listed it out. You see these 3, you will see where it's coming from. And why we say bank account is not an option. The only thing you put in there is your emergency fund. You don't put your emergency fund in an investment account, because if you put it in an investment account and you put it in a VOO and VOO goes down like it went down today, right? It went down today. NAC, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. If it goes down today, Remember, emergency never tells you when it's happening. It never knocks. It just comes straight at the door. There's a job loss. There is a major car repair. There is a, it's just like a case of the eviction I had today, right? If an emergency happens, then you are not able to take care of your family. You're going to fall back on high interest debt, which is putting more hole in your pocket. You're already having hole in your pocket, right? With whatever situation that is going on, but it makes it deeper. You sink deeper when you take all those high interest debt, credit card. You max out your credit card, or you start getting payday loan at 25%, 30%, right? That is you going there for that. But if you have your emergency fund, right, already set up 3 to 6 months, Cash and Nana, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. If you already have your emergency fund 3 to 6 months, right? Even if there's a job loss, then you know that, okay, you know what? I have to do, there's a way I got the job in the first place. I just need to do the same thing, dust my resume, take one certification or the other, get back on the road, and after 3 months, you're good with another job, right? So, I mean, somebody that is hungry, that's thinking of eviction, would not even think of drafting a resume, of course, right? So, but if you already have your basis covered through an emergency fund in an high yield savings account, so it simply means that whenever we talk about the millionaires, right? Whenever they put the little money that they put aside in, maybe in the banking sector, in whatever, that is liquid, because the goal is for it to be liquid. It has to be liquid, and it has to be generating something, because every dollar needs to work, right? Always remember this: is my money working? If your money is seated somewhere and it's not generating anything, God, you know that you are not building wealth. So regardless, even if it's an emergency fund, right, for 3 to 6 months, it has to be somewhere. An IU savings account is a very good candidate for that, okay? An IU savings account, because it is not locked away, right? If you put it in a CD, 3 month CD, if emergency happens in second month, you're going to lose the interest and lose some of your principal, right? So you leave it. IU savings account give you about 3 to 6%. And why would you even think of a CD that's giving you 3% when your IU savings account can give you the same thing, and you can access your money at any time in an emergency, and plus you get your interest every single month, right? So it's a much better product right now, especially if you're in the United States, but if you're in other countries as well. How do you know this IU savings account? Just go on Google, best IU savings account in July 2026, and put your country behind it. You will find it. In the United States, you have companies like Davido, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. And if you are new here, you've not clicked on that follow button, click on the follow button. Let's also remember to get a daily at me. Let's also tap out the live, share out the live, invite your friends over, let them come and learn this, because it shouldn't just be only you, right? This is life changing, and this is the financial freedom challenge. We're going to be ending it at the end of this month, right? In 3 days, maybe we'll start something else. There's going to be maybe 1 month, maybe once a day, or maybe once a week. I don't know yet, okay? And also, I'm on YT YouTube channel. Also go there and subscribe, because we'll be releasing weekly videos right there, long form videos right there, every single week. Almac, latest millionaire in town. And Davido, thank you so much for sharing out our life. Thank you so much. Let's also remember to get our daily at me. Let's get the daily at me. If you can fill up the gift gallery, that'll be much appreciated. And I'm Dr. Lina, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. I have my doctorate in strategic business and information management system. I'm a vice president of technology. Also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. I'm a chartered accountant, an economist, and I own double-digit real estate portfolio, helping you to gain financial education that's going to give you financial freedom, and also end the paycheck to paycheck cycle. And that's what we're doing right here. Welcome in, everyone. So if you are still new here, you are new seated here, click on that follow button. If you care to share, indicate where you're connecting from. I am in Texas, in United States. Gift, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. I'm in Texas, in United States, and I'm helping as many people. And this is not about the United States, anywhere in the world. So far, there's currency, there's the stock exchange, there's real estate in your country, there's businesses in your country. Then you are a candidate. Poporisi, Bells, Gabby, latest millionaire in town. Welcoming everyone. If you're new, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. And what we are talking about right now, if you understand where the multimillionaire put their money, right? Where do the multimillionaires put their money? It is hidden in plain sight. Bell so good, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. So if you put know where the multimillionaire put their money, you would and follow the same thing. Those are your mentors. You want to become a millionaire. Remember, this is the $1,000,000 league. Those aspiring to become a millionaire and those that are already millionaires. So it means that these are the blueprints we follow here. So we will not say things about crypto. You won't see high risk plays. Google who Warren Buffett is. You would understand we are moderate risk investors, and this is not get rich quick scheme. Okay, all right. So awesome. So multimillionaires, they put their money. The only thing is that they put it in an IU service account. They put it in where there is FD, whenever they put it in the bank or whatever product they put it in, it must be FDIC insured or CDIC in Canada or FCSC in whatever. What all of this mean, the jargons that I just said, is it is insurance protected. It is government backed. It means that your money, if the bank goes down or if it goes down, your money is protected up to a certain limit. In the United States, it's 250,000. I don't know why you put 250,000 in the bank because that is failure on arrival, right? But let's say you for whatsoever reason you decided to put it on put it in the bank 250,000. You would and the bank folds up, right? You will be able to get up to $250,000, your $250,000 back from the bank. Okay. So that are from the government. So check in your own country. What does this mean? In the United States is FDIC. So, and how do you check this IU service account? Sefa, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. This IU service account that we are talking about, how do you know it? Yeah, hi Jackie, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in everyone. Click on that follow button. If you're new here, tap out the live, get your daily at me, share out the live. We're talking about where does the multimillionaire put their money? Follow the blueprints and you find yourself on your money, on your journey to billionaire, right? It's hidden in place. I do the same thing, right? So they put their money because they want to manage inflation, right? I'm good. Inflation is at right now in the United States is at 4.2%. In some other countries, it's even double digit. Let's share out the life. Let's tap out the life. Thank you all for doing that. Let's share out the life. Right, FDIC. It means that what is inflation? Inflation means that the rate at which the value of money decreases, right? Or more like that. It's a function of demand and supply on some whatever economics, right? But in simple term, it simply means that this, if you have $100, this is how much, this $100 that you have, this is how much you can get, how much worth of things you can get, how much groceries you can get. If you go to the restaurant, how much you can get, what of item, because currency is just a paper. Currency is just a paper. It's what you get out of that currency, the value, or the services, the goods that you can get with that money. That shows the value of money. So think about it from inflation perspective. Inflation, just to bring it to perspective, if you leave your money in the bank, let's say you left $50,000 in the bank 2019, today it is what, 39,000, right? 39,000 adjusted to inflation. So you've just literally lost 11,000 for doing nothing. For doing nothing, for the fact that your money is in the bank, right? For the fact that it's adjusted to inflation, just inflation, right? Because what we're able to get with 50,000 in 2019, you can only get, it's now 39,000. If you take the 50,000 now, you can only get 39,000 worth of things right now. That is inflation. Okay, so it is, as much as it's silent, it is really, really eating deep into your pocket, basically. So for you to hedge against inflation is, do not leave it in the bank. Leave it in an IU service account. That's okay. God's word. Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Let's all get our daily admin, right? Let's share out the life as well, right? IU service account will give you about 3 to 5% in the United States. In some countries, you can even get up to 15% return. It's a regular bank. Hey, thank you so much. It's a regular bank account. However, it returns It's a regular bank account, but it gives you about 3 to 5% in the United States. So just Google it. You would see best IE savings account in July 2026. Put your country behind it. In the United States, you have a company like SoFi, which is going to even give you 4%, right? And also give you a bonus of $400, right? If you do a direct deposit, you will have a Capital One, right? But the only money that goes in there is just your emergency for 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 month living expenses. You don't have any at all. Start with $1,000, right? And this is not about United States. You can do it in your own country as well, because emergency happens everywhere in the world, right? I mean, there's job loss, there's health issues, there is emergency, is car repair. It happens anywhere in the world. So you need to also have all of that. Okay. So number two is, where else do the multimillionaire, where do they put their money? The second place where they put their money, most wealth is tied up in diversified portfolio. Emphasis on diversified, right? They do not just say portfolio, diversify. What is diversification? Who knows? Who can put it in the comment? What is diversification? In your own language, drop it in the comment. Remember, it's a two-way conversation here. This is a class. This is not your regular life. I'm a professor, and if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina, right? So it means that I have my doctorate degree in strategic business and information management system. I'm also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. But I'm also a vice president in an organization in the corporate world. Also an economist and a chartered accountant, helping as many people to gain financial freedom. I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio. So different areas contains various companies, right? Yeah, contains various, like spreading. I mean, we're just talking about diversification in general. It's almost multiple portfolio with different risk level. Thank you so much. Multiple areas, diversification. So summary, there's like a spread. It's not like you just put your money in one basket. Like summary is like, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. So the multimillionaires do not put all their money in one basket. Summary, strategy of spreading across assets to different areas. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well said, everyone. If you're new here, click on that follow button. You're new here, click on that follow button. So most wealth is tied up in diversified portfolio, such as mutual funds, ETF. Guys, the stock market, where is it? ETF. You're wondering where we are getting ETF from. Where does the multimillionaire put their money? You see, mutual fund, ETF, right? So, and that helps with the spread. Remember, ETF is that exchange traded fund, right? Fund that is traded on the exchange, on the stock exchange. Fund that is traded or exchanged and traded. That's it. That's it. So it means a basket. So it's like a spread. That's what that is. And direct business investment. Remember, businesses, right? That's it. Direct business investment to maximize long-term growth. So whatever they are talking about, can you see long-term? So remember what I said, we are long-term investors. We are not short-term investors. So you will not see us do fix and flip when it comes to real estate. You will not also see us doing day trading. We will not do options trading, because those are very short. We will not also do penny stocks. We don't take risky plays, right? We are investors. Remember, there are three categories of people. Whenever you're putting your money, there's the gamblers, right? Oh, I'm gambling. I'm hoping that, I mean, this is not on the Wall Street. I have been trying to start my interest since January. I hope. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can get it started tomorrow. Schedule a one-on-one. You'll find the link in my bio, right? Schedule it immediately. I think the market is even down right now. It might just be a good place for you to start, right? Don't just get started. All right. Direct and maximize long-term growth. So your focus is longer, and I'm going to show you what long-term growth is. Let's quickly go into that. What does long-term growth mean? If only this thing is going to open. So yesterday I taught this. So let's assume that you are putting, let's change it to $100. If you decide to put $100 every single month, you contribute. This is the investor, this is a compound interest calculator. You put $100 every single month and you start it at the age of 20. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to show you something. Or let's do it at the age of, you start it at the age of 45, at the age of 40, and you leave it to your retirement. That's 25 years. And you put it in an ETF, giving you about 14 to 15%, because that's what it did last year, in the past 10 years. Let me show you the calculation of what that is. You would have, at the end of 25 years, you have $238,000. $100, you start at 45, right? 40 years. You do it, and I'll show you something different. So let me show you. You see the blue line? The blue line down there, all you put in is $30,000. But what it returns, what you got is over $200,000. It means that $25,000, 25 years is the one that is doing the miracle. All you are putting every day is $3. That's $100. You do it for 25 years. Now, let's now see. Remember, we said long term, right? Let's now see something. Let's now imagine somebody decides, I mean, $100 is not a lot of money. I mean, for a child, for somebody that just started a career, $100 is not a lot of money. Let's now do, and then he has to do this, and then it goes off at that point. Let's just continue with the class. At this point, I'm just, and my iPad went off. I'll turn it on and we'll go back to it. I'll put it on a charger. We'll go back to it shortly. Because I want to be able to show you, if you do it from age 20, who can guess how much it's going to be? If you had done it 20, you started at age 20, doing the same thing, $3 a day, and you do it from age 20, who can guess how much it is? Or you do it for 20 years more. Let's keep tapping on the live. Wisdom, welcome in. If you are new here, click on that follow button. Let's tap on the live. Let's get it to 30,000. So I even need the iPad to teach whatever I'm teaching. About 3.5 million exactly. Versus 200,000. Who would agree with 3.5 million? It's even more than 3.5 million. Who would agree that 3.5 million is life-changing? Life-changing. If you think that 3.5 million is in dollars, by the way, not another currency. If 3.5 million is life-changing to you, exactly, compounding. Compound. If you're new here, click on the follow button. I'm new here, click on the follow button. And this iPad we're just teaching that. So I'll go back to it. But Crystal, latest millionaire intern, welcome in. Welcome in. Right? So you have, oh, thank you so much for getting your daily at me. Guy Dovon, always getting your daily at me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's keep tapping out the live. Can we get it to 30,000? You just joined. Welcome in. $3 per day. Yeah, $3 per day. That is $3 per day. That's $100 a month. Right? $100 a month. And my phone, my iPad just went off. And if you do it you start from age 20 and you do it till retirement continuously like that, you have close to $4 million. But if you started at age 40, which is 20 years later, you only have 238,000. 238,000. So it tells you something. Remember, what we were reading is long-term investing. Exactly. I'm going to show you. So it came up, hopefully. And some people, yesterday when I showed that, somebody was like, how come they never taught me in school? How come they never taught us this in school? That was the question. Because if you know it, guess what? You will not work. Who is going to do the dirty job? And I'm just trying to get this thing to. I think it just needs to charge a little more. Welcome in, everyone. Click on that follow button if you're new here. Click on that follow button if you're new here. Okay, so guys, see, so I changed it to somebody starting at 820. You saw the number earlier, right? You saw the number earlier. $100 from 820, right? See, 3.7 million. 3.7 million versus, 3.7 million. Somebody just put in $100 every single month from 820. That's $3 a day. $3 a day consistently done. That's even not up to the money of a coffee. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 30,000 taps. Let's also share out the live. Can we all share the live? Let's prioritize shares, right? Let's share out the live. So it tells you something. It tells you something. Guys, did you see this? If you're new here, click on the follow button. You're new here. Thank you so much for sharing out the live. Thank you all for, let's also repost. Get your daily at me if you have not got your daily at me. Let's get our daily at me. So, and let me just continue with the teaching and I would go back to that again. So, where are you? So if you see, this is why does the multimillionaire, why do they not put their money? What's this about? It's about having where you put your money, how you grow your money, how you invest, and of course, gaining financial freedom. That's what we're talking about. So click on the follow button, stick around, tap out the live, get your daily at me. So the multimillionaires, they put their money, right? They only put their emergency funds inside that's the IE savings account that I just talked about. And you can Google it, where does the multimillionaire put their money? And you would say, most wealth is tied up in diversified portfolios, such as mutual funds, ETF, direct business invest, and maximize long-term growth, right? The maximize long-term growth is the thing that compounds it. Journey to financial freedom. Thank you so much. Journey to financial freedom. I think that's what we should even call it. Journey to financial. Thank you so much, Zadie. Well done. Yeah, I think that's what we call it now. At times I always try to explain it. Thank you so much. Journey to financial freedom. Thank you so much. So, real estate, right? Real estate is the number 3, where they put their money. Remember, real estate. See where we are coming from. Real estate. That's it. High net worth individuals own high value primary residences, commercial properties, and REITs to generate passive income and act as an hedge against inflation. So you remember, we talked about diversified portfolio. That's ETF. They mentioned that. Real estate, businesses. Those are places where they put their money. And then the last part of it, specialized structures. Through a dedicated family office or a specialized tax advantage trust, which is what we're talking about today. Protection. Thank you so much for the hat, right? If you're new here, click on the follow button, right? Trust. They manage estate planning, everything about today. And hopefully my tripod got broken from the today's so let's go.